What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Couch Boxing. I'm your host, Reckless Rexx Ruger, along with the Alexis Arguello puppet. It's St. Patrick's Day. We're all Irish today. What's going on? Very excited. As always, the best boxing content anywhere in the world. Chop sessions like no other. Doing the fat with your favorite boxers, and one of them is here now. We'll get him in. We'll get him in here. ALANTEZ, do we got you?
Yes.
I can hear you. I just can't see you. Should be a thing at the bottom where you can like activate the camera. There you go. Hey, man, what's up? Oh, now I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Is there a microphone link there too? I'm not hearing your voice. You got the microphone turned on down below? Can you hear me? This is the world of podcasting, folks. This is how it goes in podcasting. There's no crying in podcasting. We all know this. I can't hear you. Go out and try coming in again. Use the same link. If you can go out of the room and come back in again. Should be able to do that. Are you able to hear me? Is he able to hear me? I don't know. I don't know what we have here. Yeah, I just can't hear you. Go out of the room and come back. Wait a minute, where's my phone? Go out of the room and come back in. Go out of the room and come back in. Technical difficulties, folks. You're watching it unfold. Two grown men essentially being fucked by technology. That's what it does to us.
There we go. I got it. I got it. Yes, sir.
I just said when you disappeared off there, I was like, look at what we're witnessing right here, man. Two grown men being absolutely fucked by technology, man. I thought this was all supposed to make everything so much easier, right?
It's supposed to, but you know how that shit goes.
I find to be like a lot of guys, especially from 40 and up, are not as good with technology. And I find Google Meet to be pretty simple. I'm a 51-year-old guy, and I'm not savvy at all with any of this stuff.
It's pretty simple. It just sometimes it's just like a slap in the face. Like, nah, like, you can use it, but fuck this. We're gonna do what we want.
So how does a guy like you, to start at the beginning, how does a guy like you get into boxing, man? I like to say this up front. Whenever we have guests on here, and we've certainly had a lot, man, it's always one of two things. It's a father that pushes them in, or getting into a lot of fights out in the streets or whatever, or a combination usually of both.
Mine was a combination of both. So getting to fights with people, and then my father definitely so I was playing football with some guys, and since they went to the gym, the local gym, I went to the local gym too. We was at Hillcrest Boxing with Mr. McCann, rest in peace, Bardell McCann. But yeah, like I just while I played football, I was still boxing, and you know those guys went off and they stopped boxing completely. And when they got back, I just was kicking their ass. But see, I'm fighting. I'm playing with F65, and I'm playing 65A my first year, so I'm 7, and I turn 8. And then these guys, they stopped boxing completely. I take the whole summer to just sharpen my craft and sharpen up everything. And but when they came back, they couldn't handle the younger, smaller guy whooping their ass for real.
So at what point, what state of your career are you at right now? Like, how active would you like to be in 2024? Do you have a set amount of fights that you'd like to get in?
No, I mean, nah, not really, but I would definitely like to be fighting. We had an offer for a date April 6th, I think. Well, not even. It wasn't even an offer. It was a maybe like maybe. It was a huge maybe. Nobody sent a contract or anything like that, so nobody said what the money was gonna be or any of that. So things like that just happened. It was gonna be at 175 too.
But so is that where you feel you're going to be campaigning at? Because I think most people who watch boxing would probably know you more as a super middle.
Yeah, for sure. My last few fights have been the super middleweight, but this particular one I would probably take it 75. They more than likely take it last minute, last second, and so the weight cut thing would just be it'd be easy to get a 175 at that point in time. I think this guy's 175, so I mean that's what he's used to. So I would take it. I would see it. I would test it out. Test the waters.
Now, of course, when boxers are on here, man, I would take a beating in the comment section, man, if I didn't get out some current, stuff that's going on in the boxing landscape right now. So, being as that you campaigned super middle for a while, and this is just two guys shooting the shit here, strictly your opinion. But if Canelo doesn't fight Benavidez, and I know he's made more money than God, and he could walk away from the sport and has a great legacy. But does it kind of hurt his legacy a little bit when you're looked at as like a Mexican warrior to not fight Benavidez? At this point, does it seem like a duck?
It does. To me, it seems like a duck. I mean, I've been to be as a tall order, but I think this guy's been ready. He's done all he needed to do. Even after he lost his belts, he came back, won his belt again. He's top tier. He's one of the top contenders. I don't see why you wouldn't fight him. His excuse is I don't want to fight another Mexican. But the bottom line is that is what all Mexican fans want to see. And anybody who wants to see boxing kind of wants to see two Mexicans go at it like that. It's going to be an amazing fight.
Plus, it's also a little contradictory. At least I find, and again,
Absolutely.
one guy's opinion here, but I mean, Canelo saying he doesn't want to. There's no upside to fighting Crawford, a smaller guy, but he has made a pretty nice living off of beating up on a lot of smaller guys.
Who you feel like he beat up on smaller?
I mean, I feel like Amir Khan was a lot smaller. He just had Jermell Charlo technically move up a couple of weight classes. Well, like, why okay for Jermell to come up a couple of weight classes and he'll take that fight, but Bud can't. And I had Bomac on here, and Bomac said it's because they know that Bud will whip his ass.
I think so
He's
I
supposed to
think
say that, of course.
yeah, I think but yeah, he is supposed to say that. I think weight class there's weight class for a reason. I think maybe Bud does get big, but he hasn't fought at 168 ever. You know what I mean? So it's like, bro, to jump up, that's three weight classes. That's
Yeah. Tall
that's
order.
that's major. That's major. Yeah, tall order. Like yeah, you're gonna be more comfortable. You don't have to cut as much weight and everything. But at the same time, I mean, you've never been hit by somebody like that either. So it's kind of now with 10 ounce gloves on, it makes a big
Right.
difference to me. I
Now,
think.
now, when you first dig into boxing, do you have that guy that you kind of put up on the pedestal? We always got that hero, that guy that we want to emulate. Did you have that guy?
I think I mean, of course, everybody wants to emulate Floyd, but I want to emulate Floyd. I want to emulate Michael Nunn. Of course,
Yes.
I want to emulate Tommy Hearns, Julian Jackson, those type of guys. I
Yeah.
thought I'm tall. I'm gonna throw my right hand like I thought they did their right hands. Not Michael Nunn. He's southpaw, but
I'm so
you
glad
know,
you're bringing up Michael Nunn's name. I feel like he gets criminally unrated. He's actually coming on here next weekend, and I feel like he gets left out of the conversation a lot of times.
it's because once he lost to James Toney, I feel like it kind of. I'm not gonna say destroyed his legacy, not for people who are pure boxing fans, but I guess once he lost to James Toney, and if you look at it, he was whipping James Toney's ass from the first round until he got knocked out. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like
I'm glad you said pure boxing fan, though. So I got to ask your opinion, man. Like when you see these gimmick fights, do you like the crossover shit, the Jake Paul type fights, or the UFC guy versus the boxer like we just saw this past weekend?
so I think so. I've trained along UFC guys, right? I've done a lot of sparring with them, a lot of working with them, and so I have respect for what they do. It seems like the UFC guys and the MMA guys don't have respect for what we do. The fact of the matter is, MMA you get a lot of stuff that you get to put together, and it's your job to combine a bunch of arts, a bunch of mixed martial arts, I mean, a bunch of martial arts to be the best you can possibly be. If I'm boxing, all I'm doing is boxing. And
Right.
for you to think you can come into my sport within a couple months and beat me is kind of ridiculous. You know, with when Ngannou, he knocked down Tyson Fury, and so it seemed like, oh yeah, we got, maybe this guy can do something. But like, what happened to Anthony Joshua fight with him is exactly what I thought would happen. I thought Anthony Joshua would show his boxing prowess, and then actually clip him like he did.
And
It
when you
happened
watch
exactly I thought it would.
and when you watch an event like that, do you almost feel like Joshua has to win as a boxer yourself? Do you feel like he's
Yeah,
defending the sport?
yeah, absolutely. Like you have to completely kind of sort of obliterate him. Like I expected Tyson Fury to obliterate him, but excuse me, it didn't happen that way. And I kind of was like I was a little bit disappointed because I know his Tyson Fury's skills are well above and beyond. I think a lot. I think he's probably the best heavyweight, and so I thought maybe this fight would. I mean, the Anthony Joshua fight and Ngannou fight would maybe catapult a Anthony Joshua and oh shit. I mean, I think they will catapult that fight. So I mean, we'll see, but I really think Tyson Fury is probably one of the best heavyweights, if not the best heavyweight.
So you brought up earlier in the interview about moving up to 175. There's obviously a big fight coming up that people have wanted to see there for a long time. Beterbiev and Bivol. How do you think that one shakes out?
So I like Bivol on that one. So and what makes me say that is if you watch the Anthony Yarde fight with Beterbiev, it's like he was to me he was touching him too much, and I don't know that Anthony Yarde has the skills, that Bivol has. I think Bivol probably would stop him too, but I think Bivol boxes. He's going to use his distance. But Beterbiev, he has to come forward and work hard, but I don't think he can just eat those same punches from Bivol. So I'm me personally, I'm taking Bivol as a boxer.
And I know you look at like these guys, they're your peers, they're your contemporaries, but they're also rivals. But when you step back from a fan standpoint, you certainly sound like a boxing fan
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Who are some current guys right now, who you really enjoy? We get so many guys stepping forth saying, I'm the face of boxing. I'm the face of boxing. I'm the face. Haney makes a claim. Tank makes a claim. It could still be Crawford. It could still be Canelo. When you think the face of boxing right now, who's the guy for you?
The face of boxing, I'm gonna go with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis. Not only is he hometown, but he's doing like to me the most. I think he beats people like Shakur and Devin, and I like those. I like those people. I want to say that I like Shakur. I like Devin. I mean, if you had to really look at, it, I guess Canelo's kind of the face of boxing too, or maybe even Terrence be the face of boxing. Well, these are the faces of boxing. You know what I mean? But I think I, like I said, for hometown sake, I mean, Tank is the face of boxing. He's probably he's making he's one of the guys making the most money doing this, doing what I love. You know what I mean?
Well, so Terrence Crawford, was very vocal at the end of last year. He didn't win Fighter of the Year. The honor went to Inouye, who did fight a couple of times, did very impressive stuff throughout the year. But Bud's argument was that one fight with Spence and the performance he put on should have won him Fight of the Year. That's kind of a
Yep.
polarizing comment, but you know what? I took to our show and defended it, and I kind of agree with them. But do you think he was the Fighter of the Year? Can you be the Fighter of the Year with just one fight?
I mean, yeah, you can have the fight of the year with a fight like that, but when you go against another champion, another known champion, another proven champion. Let's say that like Earl Spence was definitely proven. Definitely, he's been tested. His metal's been tested. I mean, I think the time off really took a toll upon him. And I mean, it may have been some other things, but like when I watched the fight myself, I looked at Earl in the back, and I was like, yeah, he looks glassy eyed. He
Many
still
people
looks like
said
he's
that.
undertrained. He
Yeah.
still looks underhydrated, but he doesn't look like he needs to be fighting this guy. Like you can't go in against another person that's considered the best at even 90%. You need to go in there maybe 95 or more without that. Because I mean, we got to say everybody in camp I mean, after camp and everything, you never really go into a fight 100%, but like 90 to 95%. And I felt like Earl was looking like he was at like a 60. Like he wasn't hydrated properly. He wasn't, his head looked extra big. Like I said, he looked glassy eyed. He didn't look
Yeah.
like he wasn't taking those punches well. And I mean, to me, that I guess it takes away from Terrence's win a little bit. But at the same time, I'm looking at time like I know that you can't go in there half cocked against somebody like Terrence Crawford. And he kind of did. He kind of went in there almost half cocked. You know what I mean? He wasn't his full self.
Yeah.
And it may have been a better fight. And the thing is, Terrence might have still won the fight. I bet on personally. I bet on Terrence. Right? I bet on maybe the knockout. You know what I mean? But I bet on. I was going to knock down the first maybe 4 rounds or something like that. Because Terrence sometimes he is knocked down.
You weren't
That's
off
fine.
by much. You weren't off by much.
Right.
You're
And I'm
close.
like, oh shit, I got a
Yeah.
knockdown. You know what I mean? I got a knock, I wanted to knock out within 9. I'm like, man, that's gonna happen.
And all the things you said are pretty poignant too, because I think that was also speaking to Bud's point, though. He thought because it was 2 top 5 guys on the pound for pound list, 2 undefeated welterweights, and just how easy he made it look. I mean, he fought the whole fight southpaw, and he really did make a top class guy look really easy.
He looked incredible in there. He looked above and beyond what we've actually seen. We've seen him look spectacular. We've seen him look special. This time, because it was Earl, I think it made him look even more special. And I think because Earl was like down and weight, he wasn't fully himself. It made Terrence look that much more exceptional. He's always looked exceptional, but now he looked even more exceptional. Like now I'm being one of the top tier guys. Like the guys you guys were talking. You've been saying I can't beat this guy, and here I am. I handled him. I didn't just beat him. I made him look like he doesn't even belong here. I'm like, damn, man. Like, and for me, I was like, I wanted to win the money for the bets, but I'm like, I didn't even want Terrence to win like that. It looked really bad, man. And because I know Earl's a better fighter than that.
Now, never mind the world of Bud Crawford. We must obviously get to the world of ALANTEZ Fox, though. What's coming up for you, man? What's going on? Who's your next opponent? When are you looking at fighting again?
Well, so we like I said, we had a bit of a kind of sort of offer to fight April 6th, but I mean, as of right now, we don't have anything on the line. Nobody has sent a contract out. I haven't even heard anything about it again. So
if you could put your promoter hat on, if I can ask you, if you could put your promoter hat on and you could draw up your own fight right now, is there one guy out there that you'd like to fight?
I would love to fight David Benavidez.
Yeah.
I would love to fight. And the thing is, fighting a David Benavidez is it's a tall task to say the least for anyone, right? But beating a David Benavidez is like, you might actually can fight. You might can fight a lot. If I can fight anybody like that, I think David is very special. It's hard to he's hard to he's hard to stop. He's hard to stop from coming forward. He has lightning fast hands. He has hellified power. If you're able to beat someone like that, it would have to show that you're actually pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I mean, especially at 168.
And he's got quite the engine, but I feel like, though, at the same time watching him, and I'm a huge fan of his, I feel like he is very hittable, though.
I mean, yeah, but the bottom line is the guy came down from 200 pounds. You can hit him, but are you hurting him?
Right.
That's the biggest thing. That's always the question. Are you hurting him at all? Because sometimes he's in there. He's always smiling. I mean, a lot of guys smile when they get hit with a good shot and everything, but like with him, it doesn't. I'm not gonna say I've never seen him hurt, but it's so rare to see him like, oh man, that hurt. Like we've never seen him stumble. We've never seen him rock. You know what I mean? He's a very special talent, man. Because like I said, because he came down from 300 pounds. He's retained speed, but he's retained that power. I'm not sure if his bone density is different because he was that big or what have you. But I mean, he's hitting like a brick apparently, and so I was scheduled to. I was a substitute for him. I was scheduled when he fought Ronald Ellis.
Yeah,
I was scheduled for. So I watched him and Ronald Ellis. And I'm like, Ronald is hitting him. Ronald is doing pretty good. But like he's
Not
not
enough.
hurting him at all. He's not doing enough. He's not doing enough. He's touching him, and then watching the round, I'm like, man, Marlon Ellis looks good this round. He might have won this round, and then maybe 45 seconds left in the round, he gets hit with a shot. Boom, another shot. Boom. He's like, oh shit.
Well,
Like then that takes David. That gives David the round.
I feel like we started a little bit of trouble here, ALANTEZ. I feel like in a subliminal way that was a David Benavidez call out. I'm going to look at it as such. It's going in the books. It's going in the books as a David Benavidez call out, man.
Man, he knows that he knows me. He knows me and my brother. He knows how much I respect him and his family. And
Yeah.
so the bottom line is, I mean, yeah, if they were to make that fight, if they wanted to make that fight, I would train my ass off to try to beat him.
Sure.
I respect him. It's a very humble respect about him. Like he's a very great fighter. I would have to really get in my bag to beat somebody like that.
Have you thought about life after boxing? I don't know how old. I mean, I don't have in front of me right now how old you are, but have you thought of what life looks like once you put boxing away in your life for good? Do you feel like you'll always have a foot in the sport, be involved in some way? You got any aspirations to train, promote, anything like that?
So I'm 32, and I'm thinking I would really love to commentate boxing. That would be that's my end goal, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not sure how to get into that, but I would love to commentate boxing. I think I would do very well at it. I think I speak well enough to do something like that. And sometimes they get a lot of guys that don't really know. They know the sport, but don't know from the inside. So if you look at somebody, look at the way Andre Ward and the way Tim Bradley speak about boxing versus the other guys. They're speaking on it, and it's not bad, but it's like you're speaking from a layman's standpoint, and it's kind of different.
Yeah.
It's a lot different. You know what I mean?
I have heard people tell me the best way to watch boxing is with the sound down because, you know, speaking of that point, you do hear them kind of push a certain narrative sometime and make you think like you're watching something that ain't even really happening.
All the time. And the thing is, I've actually watched Andre Ward do that before. Like he was like, man, let me recall the fight. It was the it was Jose Ramirez. You remember Jose Ramirez's last fight?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
You watch so many of them, it's such a blur.
Yeah, but so now it's like I'm watching the fight and Andre Ward is talking about how Jose Ramirez is walking forward a lot, right? And he's looking tough. He's looking the part. He's looking like he's being aggressive. And I don't need to remember this fight, but the bottom line is that's all he was doing. He was actually just doing. He's walking forward. He's getting hit with shots. He's the aggressor in there, but that's it. And for me, in this particular situation, Andre Ward was very much gung ho on how Ramirez is making it look like he's making it look like these guys running, but this guy was really boxing. It might have been Taylor.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds right to me. Yeah.
And so he's boxing his ass off. He's testing him a lot, but Ramirez is looking tough, and Ramirez is tough as shit. That guy can fight his ass off, clearly, right? But in this particular instance, he's being outskilled and outwitted. He's not being out muscled or out hustled. I guess a bit out hustled, but he's not being out muscled. He's being outskilled and outwitted, and that makes all the difference. And that's why Taylor won that fight. It wasn't, oh yeah, you know, I'm looking at it like I'm hearing what Andre Ward is saying, and because I respect Andre Ward's opinion, he definitely I'm like, is it really that? Like, you know, I'm looking. I had to second guess what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm doubting myself. I had to second guess it. Like, hold up.
Yeah,
that's not it, bro. I think he's losing.
Yeah,
and he lost.
Same fight.
yeah. And Taylor definitely won. He won that. Like, he won that by a landslide.
And listen, man, you must have had it made too, man, because with Fox as a last name, the nicknames must have just come pouring in, man. Right?
Yeah. I mean, so my nickname came from Tony Thompson, heavyweight Tony Thompson. He, the way I was fighting, he's like, man, we're gonna call you SlyAza. I said, so I'll be sly as a fox. He said, no, man, ALANTEZ, sly as a fox. I'm like, oh man, that's
Yeah,
cool. So when
yeah.
I was
Very.
going, my father was like, bro, you gotta get a nickname. You have to have a nickname. You have to have a nickname. He was
He's
really
right.
he was gonna hold about it, and then there it went. I'm okay. You know what? I'll be sly as a fox. And then then it just went from there. You know what I mean?
It is really about the nickname. I have a list as long as my arm, man, for backup. You got to have them, man. You got to be able to pull them out
For
once in a
sure.
while.
For sure.
AKA, and then you got to have something cool to throw at, man. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. For
Hey,
sure.
listen,
For
man,
sure.
I'm really glad that we got a chance to do this, man, and you spent
No,
some
absolutely.
Sunday night, man. So definitely keep in touch. I would love to have you back on, man.
I would love to be back on. I hopefully I can get a fight. Hopefully I can get a win in. Let me say, hopefully I can get a win in, and then we can definitely chop it up real good.
Yeah, you keep me posted. You got a fight coming up. You're in camp. We'll talk at any time, man. You know,
Yes,
anytime
sir.
good for
Yes,
you, man.
sir.
I look forward to it, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so
No,
much, man.
no, thank you, Russ. I appreciate you a whole lot. Appreciate the
Yeah,
exposure.
appreciate you. Much love.
Everybody follow me at SlyAza Fox on Twitter and Instagram. It's SlyAzaFox. Again, SlyAzaFox.
He's out there, folks. He's out there, man. Not that hard to find. Sly, but not impossible to find.
No, facts, right? Facts,
I
facts, facts.
appreciate you, brother. Thank you so
No,
much,
thank
man.
you, Russ. Thank you, thank you,
Man.
thank you.
Later. There he goes, folks. ALANTEZ, sly as a fox. Let me run you down the credentials, if I may. 28-6, 13 KOs. He gets mad props for the sly as a fox nickname, man. Just you hear him, man. Known for as a super middleweight, some tough fights, and already thinking about moving up to 175, which I love. Calling out David Benavidez. He was very polite about it, but let me stir the pot of trouble, which is what I like to do. Alexis, you know this. You know this. He won't say it, but he knows it. Sly as a fox, man. Let me stir the shit for you. That was a David Benavidez call out for all you people out there that may not have picked up on that, but certainly showed love and respect. I think just feels that would be, as I do too, a great fight. Pick up the phone, David. Pick up the phone. Just having fun, David. Still want to get that interview. Been playing email tag or text message tag with the publicist, but we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. Got to have the Mexican monster get with Reckless Rexx. What a combination. He thinks he throws a lot of punches. Pussycat. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much to ALANTEZ, sly as a fox. Great to have him on here. His insights, chop it up. I was super pumped up to have him, man. Great guest. Just great chat. Great chat. Love chopping it up with the guy. He will be back on for sure. Already a show favorite with me. It don't take much, though. I'm a soft touch. But ALANTEZ, major props. Great interview, man, and I appreciate it, man. Make sure to like and follow us on Facebook. That's a must. And if you're watching us right now, you found your way to the YouTube channel. Good for you. The best boxing conversations anywhere. Legends, luminaries, guys on the rise. And this is where you're going to find the best variety and the best conversations. The shoes off, informal type interviews that only Reckless Rexx and Alexis can give you. So you're welcome. Anyway, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Stay tapped in, folks. And remember, if you want to be a champion, you got to roll with the champs.